Welcome back, everyone. It has been a long time since I was last here, and since this show was back here, but now since we are back, we have some pretty important business to take care of, and that is that this is the final episode of the regular season. So that means that by the end of this episode, you will have the completed bracket. And better yet, this episode is only 3 fights. These 3 fights are going to be the 3 fights remaining on the schedule that are most crucial to our bracket placements. So, without further ado, let's get into our first fight. Our first fight is Duck versus Extraterrestrial. So Duck 2-0, this design is obviously different than the Duck you've seen in its past 2 fights. They have better reach, but are no longer have their 360 degrees capabilities. They're going to be using this in both their fights because it may give them a better advantage against different types of flippers. Extraterrestrial is 3-0. They have wins against opponents of all tiers under their belt, and they are somewhat impressive in all of their fights due to their tossing abilities using their articulating arms. Both of these robots could be in a position to get a top seed with a win tonight, although that will also be determined on another fight tonight, but a win would make that path a lot easier. Now, let's start the fight. Duck utilizing its lifter. Aggressive, not allowing Extraterrestrial to try to do anything to it. And Extraterrestrial has a hold on Duck. Oh, and a big flip there by Extraterrestrial. Duck self-right. Gets under Extraterrestrial. Extraterrestrial self-right. Duck definitely has a ground game advantage here. Oh! They just work their way right into Extraterrestrial. Now Extraterrestrial has a firm hold on them. And oh! Out of the arena! And that, as we know, out the arenas are instant wins. So, good job to Extraterrestrial. They have defeated Duck. And thus they have become the first robot to go 4-0. Duck will go to 2-1, but that's okay. They still have another chance to get in. Next up, it's Wedge versus Witch Doctor. So Wedge is 0-2. Not much on the line for them. They have not been having a good season. 0-2 against a lot of, it's just not been a good season for them. They don't really have a possibility of getting in the bracket, but they're just here to prove that they're still good because they're reigning 4th place and they don't want to finish up this season winless. Their opponent, Witch Doctor, is fighting for a tournament spot. With a win here, they would be going 2-1-1 and getting into the bracket. But that's only if they win, so 1-1. Alright, the fight has begun. And Wedge Lifting Witch Doctor. Oh, Wedge's lifter is not looking too good. That's never a good sign, especially since Wedge has a habit of loofusing its lifter. If that's an awkward position that Wedge is in, they're able to get out of it. Still inverted, and that gives Witch Doctor a massive advantage. They're trying to drive them into the pit, and can Wedge get out of there? I don't think they can. The countdown is starting, and Witch Doctor could have pulled off their hopes of getting into the bracket. And that will be a win now. Okay, so that was a good fight. Witch Doctor definitely controlled the driving in those last seconds of the match. They got Wedge into the pit, and not much more can be said about that, but good win, and they'll be in now. Now, for our main event, this will determine who the top seed will be. With Duck returning from their loss against Extraterrestrial. No, they are not fighting for the top seed, and although they are fighting for a top seed. And ZeroGravity, the last remaining undefeated robot besides Extraterrestrial. With a win here, ZeroGravity will get the top seed, with Extraterrestrial getting the second seed, and the third seed going to Hypershock. With Duck's win, then ZeroGravity. Well, with Duck's win, then ZeroGravity. Extraterrestrial will get the top seed, followed by Hypershock and Duck. So, this fight will... Oh, and if they die, then it'll just go to Extraterrestrial, ZeroGravity, and then Hypershock. So, this will determine the fate of the entire season, except for bracket. Let the fight begin. And with robots aggressive, trying to. Oh, Duck has an advantage there. They got the first lift. ZeroGravity, as you can see, missing the plate that they usually wear on top of their flipper. That. Oh, ZeroGravity has Duck in position, and out of the arena! And that will seal ZeroGravity's chances of getting into the bracket as the top seed. Wow, great game there. Duck looked pretty good at the start, but in the end, ZeroGravity did good and won the fight. Well, that's all for the regular season. But we still have the bracket to go. So, without further ado, here are the bracket. Here's the round of 12 bracket. Quadrant by quadrant. Just a second. Now, Quadrant 1. Wait, actually. For Quadrant 1, we have an automatic bye for the top seed, ZeroGravity. Fighting for their place in the quarterfinals against ZeroGravity, we have the 8th seed, Schrodinger's Cat, and the 9th seed, Flames, which will be a rematch from earlier in the season. That will be fun to watch. And then, for the second quadrant, fighting for their spot in the quarterfinals against her. Now, for the third quadrant. Sorry that this is taking so long. So, for the third quadrant, we have the 2nd seed, Extraterrestrial, getting their first round bye and fighting for a chance to play against them. The 10th seed, Lockjaw, and the 7th seed, Event Horizon, who is not quite yet present. And then, for the 4th and final quadrant, the 3rd seed, Hypershock, will fight against the winner of the 6th seed, Beta, and the 11th seed, Witch Doctor. So, let's see what happens. This will likely be one of the most exciting brackets left yet. So, yeah.